Hailey Lynn McMullen, from Deerfield Township in New Jersey, was merely 10 years old when she had to endure torture before death. She, along with her family, were having a great evening at the annual Harvest Festival in Deerfield. Everything was fine, and she was as happy as a puppy. Little did she know that that day a ride known as the Xtreme Super Sizzler was about to end her life in horror, torture, and fear. Hailey's body was just too small for the ride. Somehow, she could not hold on to anything. She simply slipped through the car's gates from below the safety bar and hit the ground. But what followed amounted to nothing less than torture, followed by endless pain and eventual death. This is the story of the death of Hailey McMullen by the infamous Xtreme Sizzler ride. A sad and tragic incident that grips the heart. The Deerfield Township Harvest Festival is a time of year everyone in the township, young and old, eagerly awaits. Hailey and her family were no different and loved the authenticity of the American family-friendly, country-style event. The festival features a sing-fest, a dessert baking challenge, a food court that offers cuisines from around the world, a parade, an art show, a mascot mania, fireworks, and lastly, what really makes the crowd and children in particular super excited, amusement rides and attractions. The festival was supposed to run for 4 days in 2019. However, it was cut short because on October 12th, Hailey McMullen was killed after she was ejected from her seat in the Xtreme Sizzler ride. The horrific incident took place right before many people, including her parents, grandmother, and 2 siblings. To them, that terrifying scene and the agony that followed meant one thing: they will never be the same. The devastation changed their lives forever. There was so much sadness in the community. Grief counselors spent weeks helping children and adults alike deal not just with the loss of a beloved member of the community, but also the nightmarish scene that far too many people, including children, had to witness. The Xtreme Super Sizzler is a popular ride that has rotating arms and is made of 12 cars. Riders, strapped in with lap bars, spin around in different directions. It's a fun and simple ride, and it should have been completely safe. On Saturday, 12th of October 2019, at around 6:15 p.m, Hailey was allegedly refused entry to the ride by one operator, but a minute later was allowed to take the ride by a different operator. Excited, Hailey found herself in the car next to a young boy she recognized from school. As the ride started to turn faster, Hailey simply became unstable in her seat. Her small body began to rattle and shake. She simply could not find enough strength to hang on to anything. The car's safety bar proved useless for someone of her size. She fell on the car's floor and began slipping through the opening on the side, but not without a fight. Even the boy who was sitting next to her noticed what was happening and tried to pull her back on the seat, but he too was merely a young child who could muster only so much strength. He tried to help her, but she slipped through his hands and fell out of the car and onto the ride's floor. The fall was not deadly, but strong enough to leave her with some wounds. She was able to stand up in a fraction of a second, but to her bad luck, the operator somehow missed the whole ordeal. Then, the violent torture began as she tried to escape hell. Confused and in pain, she didn't know what to do or where to go. The ride was moving, and she was simply in the way. Hailey was hit not by one, but by 3 other cars. Horrified onlookers began calling 911, desperately trying to get her some help. It was a horrific scene from hell, according to one witness. Hailey was so brave she got up a second time even after getting violently hit by the metallic cars, desperately searching for a way out. But it all happened too fast, and another car came and delivered to the poor soul the final blow. The following chaos was just that: chaos. Some people were running towards the incident scene while others were running away from it. No one knew exactly what happened. Nevertheless, innocent Hailey was on her way out of this world. The police were first to be present at the scene, and minutes later the fire and ambulance services arrived. The paramedics decided right away that her head injuries in particular were just too severe, so they decided that she must be airlifted to the hospital immediately. Less than 7 minutes later, she was airlifted to Cooper University Hospital in Camden, where she was pronounced dead at 7:20 p.m. The incident was so devastating that Deerfield Township even decided to not hold the Harvest Festival in 2020. According to the Deerfield Township Harvest Festival organizers, Skelly's Amusements has handled rides for the events for 3 decades. Skelly's Amusements is an old company that started in 1956. It even has an interesting history. The story goes that one day Joseph Skelly, the company founder, was on his way home from work when he noticed a truck-mounted merry-go-round for sale, and he immediately decided to buy it. He borrowed money to buy the ride and soon put it to work. Every day he would come home from his day job as a bookbinder, then would drive the merry-go-round through the streets of Derby, Pennsylvania, charging 10 cents a ride. The ride had 8 tiny horses that he would push around by hand while music played. His tiny business soon grew, and since many of his customers were from New Jersey and the surrounding area, he decided in 1965 to move along with his company to New Jersey. According to Skelly's Amusements, Hailey McMullen's death was a first for the company. Some believe that Hailey could have been saved if the ride's manufacturer and operator bothered to pay attention to the fact that several states made it mandatory for such rides to be retrofitted with a seatbelt. Additionally, the ride should be equipped with sensors so that the cars don't just ram into whatever is in front of them, including unfortunate souls. Hailey's parents, Amanda and Christopher McMullen, didn't waste any time and hired 2 law firms. Their attorneys have been going after the ride's manufacturer, Wisdom Rises of America, and operator Skelly's Amusements Incorporated, with a lawsuit based on wrongful death, survival action, and emotional distress. Hailey's parents and the many other witnesses who saw the horrific incident unfold believe that the ride was not stopped immediately after Hailey was thrown off it, resulting in further deadly injuries as other cars smashed into the poor young soul. As it seems, the manufacturer did issue such safety upgrades for the Xtreme Sizzler ride, but invested very little in reaching out to the operators to convince them of the importance of implementing such upgrades. There is a mystery to this whole story. Some people believe that when Hailey tried to get on the ride the first time, she was rejected because she was too small and not accompanied by a responsible adult. However, Hailey tried again, and a supervisor allowed Hailey to take the ride. It's not clear why this confusion happened. Some say that Hailey's grandmother went and had a chat with the operator so that she would be allowed. However, legal documents show that such a conversation never took place, nor did the grandmother approach the operators with any requests. According to experts, the confusion has more to do with 2 sets of instructions that guide the individuals operating the Xtreme Sizzler. The confusion rotates around, not allowing people less than 48 inches or 52 inches tall to take the ride. To this date, it isn't clear why the Xtreme Sizzler was not immediately stopped after Hailey fell off the car. However, it is believed that the machine isn't designed to stop immediately after an emergency stop is requested, and rather stops in stages. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell button to get notified every time we upload a new video that will take you to the hearts of the scenes and mysteries of some of the most terrifying incidents, accidents, disasters, and paranormal events from around the world.